3 digits at a time, or even try to divide the entire dividend all in one step.
Yep.
And taking bigger chunks of the dividend usually results in fewer division steps. Notice that there were 3 steps in the first problem, but only 2 steps in the second problem. Fewer steps? I like the sound of that. That seems like a lot less work. Ah, yes. Fewer division steps does sound better, but it's really not. That's because the more digits you group together, the harder that division step will be. I thought it sounded too good to be true. It's kind of like climbing stairs. When you have a lot of small steps, each one is easy to climb. But with only a few big steps, each one can be a challenge of its own. That's why we always try to go just 1 digit at a time. If you only have to...
Okay, so you got the math problem already, right?
Yeah, right here.
Okay, it's 2 divided into 41,270. Okay, it's not hard. If you want to take little steps, like he said, then you can take little steps. You can start with the 4. How many 2's go into 4, right? But if you want to take big steps,
2.
like how many 2's go into 41, you can also do that. 2 times what equals?
2.
Huh?
2. 2
Yeah,
times 2.
2 times 2 equals 4. But what would equal 40?
41.
Huh? 2 times 20 would equal 40.
Yeah, but 41.
Okay, do little steps then. 2, what goes into 4? How many 2's go into 4?
1? No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, not 1. Sorry, how many? How many 2's for 4?
2?
Yeah. Why?
Because 2 times 2 is 4.
Yep.
So I put the 2 up here.
Put the 2 up over the 4 because you're dealing with the 4.
Okay.
So now you write down your answer in the bottom. Oh, under the 4, we're dealing with the 4 yet, still. So now do the 4 right there. Because 2 times 2 gave you 4.
So I put 4 right here.
So you put a 4 right there. And now subtract. The next step is to subtract.
Okay.
What does it give you? What's 4 minus 4?
0.
0, okay. So now you have now you go to the next one, the next number, which is the 1.
Do you bring it down?
You bring it down.
Okay.
This is trickier now. How many 2's go into 1?
0.
0. So you put a 0. Never forget the 0, okay? Because you'll get a wrong answer. So now you put, well, you don't have to put a 0. You can bring down the 2.
Wait, where? Right here?
Yep, bring down the 2. And now the question is, how many 2's go into 12? 2 times what equals 12?
5.
You sure?
Uh-huh. 2, 5.
12, not 10.
Oh, 6, 6.
Okay.
6. So back to the 6 right here?
6 right on the top.
Okay.
And write down the answer. What would it give you? Give you 12. See, that's the problem right there you're having at school. So now you gotta subtract.
0. Well,
Yeah, subtract and put a 0.
then
What is the next step?
bring down the 7.
Bring down the 7. So how many 2's go into 7? 2 times what equals 7? Or close to 7. Not after 7 or over 7, before 7.
6.
2 times 6 is 12. So it's not 6. because 2 times 6 is 12. It has to be under 7.
Uh,
What's before 7?
the 6.
6. So what? 2 times what equals 6?
3.
3. Okay, so that's a good one, right? So 2 times 3 equals 6.
So I put 3 here.
Put 3 up there, yes. And you, the 6 under the 7, you subtract.
It's
What's the answer now? What's 7 minus 6?
no, it's 1.
So your answer is 1.
Done.
And now what do you do? Are you done?
Yeah.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Oh, I see another number right there
Where?
after the 7.
0. Oh,
So what do you do now?
you bring down the 0.
You bring down the 0. So now how many 2's going to 10? 2 times what equals 10?
5.
5. So put the 5, and now your answer is 10.
Yay.
So put 10.
Oh, okay.
No, because you're not done. If you leave it like that, you get it wrong. So now you subtract, and you get a 0. And that's the end. If you have another 10, you gotta keep going and going and going until you get a 0. You have to have 0 here. Okay? So now that's your answer. All right.